In the next few weeks, you will receive from your county the most expensive piece of paper of the year. And odds are, you're going to throw it right in the trash. That piece of paper is your assessment notice. Inside it are two numbers: what your county says your house is worth, which sets your tax bill, and a deadline to disagree with it. Miss that deadline, and their number wins for a full year. And it will not look important when it shows up. No, it has the aesthetic energy of a flyer asking if you've considered switching to Geico. That disguise is exactly why it does die in the trash. And when reporters in Indiana surveyed 7 county assessors' offices, they found that 48% of the homeowners who did disagree with their assessment won. Roughly a coin flip for money that compounds every single year you own the house. But you've probably never once been at the table. In a national survey this year, 57% of American homeowners said they didn't even know they were allowed to challenge their assessment. Fewer than 5% ever do. And if that's you, keep watching. Because it goes deeper than that. The number printed inside that envelope is flat out wrong on a massive share of American homes. I covered that in detail last month, and I'll link to that video down below in the description, because it's crazy why they keep getting it wrong. Now, the National Taxpayers Union estimates somewhere between 30 and 60% of residential properties in this country are overassessed. Call it 1 in 3 minimum. So right now, I'm going to show you how to check yours using tools your county already put online for free. And look, if all this is news to you, that's not on you. You paid that bill on time. Every single year. You maintained the house. You did it the responsible way, which probably means the bank paid it out of escrow, and you never even saw the number. You just assumed somebody, somewhere, checked it before it left the building. Nobody checked. And that's actually the first thing you need to understand about this envelope. If your property tax rides inside your mortgage payment, this notice is the only moment all year when the raw number is in your hands instead of the bank's. The bill goes to your servicer. The increase just shows up months later as a bigger monthly payment, and you're left wondering why. The notice is the one chance to catch it before it's baked in. By the time it shows up in your mortgage payment, it's too late. And here's why this year's envelope matters more than usual. Property taxes across this country jumped 30% between 2019 and 2024. Not 30% over a generation, over 5 years. That number comes straight from the Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy. And the machine that decides your share is on a clock right now. On June 24th, Florida signed a brand new law that changes how every city and county in the state calculates its tax rate. And the first place regular homeowners will ever see it is the notice hitting Florida mailboxes in August. The state even set aside $5.5 million just to print and mail extra pages explaining it. $5.5 million for an envelope that most of America uses as a grease coaster under their takeout pizza. California's window to challenge opened July 2nd. Depending on your county, it slams shut September 15th or November 30th. Ohio counties spent this summer recalculating bills under their own new law. So some deadlines moved and some bills showed up late. Different states, different dates. And I'll put a single link in the description so you can go and check your date. But the mission is identical everywhere. Once a year, your county mails you their number and starts a countdown. When the countdown hits 0, their number becomes your bill. No appeal, no do-over. You wait a full year, overpaying the entire time. So how does the county even come up with that number? Because I promise you, no human being walked your property. Your county runs what's called mass appraisal. One computer model, thousands of houses at a time. Think of it like the camera at a drive-thru reading license plates. Automated, fast, at scale, and wrong often enough that it matters. It doesn't know about your foundation issue. It doesn't know the 4th bedroom on your file is actually a closet with delusions of grandeur. It knows a formula. That's it. I mean, here in Clark County, where I live, that formula could hand a 1,400 square foot desert ranch a finished basement. In southern Nevada, where nobody has a basement unless they hired a mining crew. The computer wouldn't even blink. It's never been here. It's never been anywhere. Your largest asset was valued by something that has seen fewer houses in person than a Roomba. It's also driving while looking in the rearview mirror. That Indiana assessor put it plainly. The bill in your hand is built from the previous 12 months of sales. So, if your market has cooled since then, and plenty have, you may be getting taxed on a market that no longer exists. The county isn't valuing your house today. It's valuing your house last year and charging you today. It's the only bill in America priced off last year's weather. Try paying it with last year's paycheck and see how they feel about time travel. And here's the part that genuinely surprised me when I dug into this. The assessors know all of it. That same Marion County assessor told reporters that only 2 to 3% of his homeowners ever file an appeal, and that appeals are, quote, vital to our industry because they give his office the information it needs to get values right. It's wild, right? The man whose job is taxing your house is asking you to check his math. Imagine the IRS stapling a sticky note to your tax return. Honestly, we're just guessing here. What do you think? That's what this is, the county edition. Which brings me to the one sentence I want you to steal from this entire video. Your tax bill is not a bill. It's an opening offer. Text that to your spouse. You know, I've spent almost 20 years in real estate. I've closed more than 1,000 transactions. And in all of those deals, you know how many buyers paid the first number presented to them? None of them. Nobody pays the opening offer, except American homeowners, every year on the biggest asset they own, sight unseen. You'd never do that anywhere else in your life. That number deserves the same skepticism you'd give a guaranteed authentic Rolex sold out of the trunk of a Honda Civic. So here's the counteroffer drill that I used to play. 3 steps, 1 bonus check, about 10 minutes of your life. That's it. Step 1, the envelope. In Florida, it's called a trim notice, truth in millage. Millage is just government speak for your tax rate, how many dollars they charge for every $1,000 your house is worth. Other states call it an assessment notice, or a valuation notice, or a notice of appraised value. All the same thing, same animal. Somewhere on that page is the assessed value, and somewhere, usually in print sized by someone who hates you, is the deadline to challenge it. In Florida, you get 25 days from the day they mail it. Most states you're looking at somewhere between 30 and 45 days. That's not a season, that's barely a billing cycle. So find that date, write it on the fridge. That date is the whole mission. Step 2, the record card. Your county keeps a file on your house. The square footage, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the lot size, the condition. In most counties, it's online, free, tonight. Pull it up and read it like it owes you money. Because if it says 4 bedrooms and you have 3, if the square footage includes a garage conversion that never happened, if the lot size is wrong, those factual errors are the closest thing to a guaranteed win this process has. Because you're not arguing opinion, you're pointing at their own paperwork. And while you're in there, the bonus check, exemptions, homestead, senior, veteran, disability, what do you qualify for? Because these knock real dollars off your bill. They're listed right on the notice, and homeowners miss them constantly, especially after a move, or a retirement, or a spouse passing. If an exemption you qualify for isn't showing, that's not even an appeal. That's just an application. Some of the easiest money you'll find. Then step 3, the comps. Search Zillow for 3 to 5 homes like yours, within about a half a mile or so. Sold. Only the ones that are sold in the last 6 to 12 months. Do not use the Zestimate. Use the number where they actually sold. If those homes sold for less than what the county says your house is worth, that's your case. Print them, attach them to the appeal form, and file before the deadline. And so you know exactly what you're signing up for by doing this. I mean, in most counties, filing kicks off an informal review first. A real person at the assessor's office looks at your evidence, and a whole lot of these get settled right there. There's no hearing, no courtroom, no drama. If they don't budge and your evidence is solid, you then go to a local review board. It's a table, a few neighbors turned board members, and your folder of comps. That's the whole battlefield. Now, the objections that stop people from even trying. I've heard them all before, so let's take them one at a time, in order. If I appeal, they'll raise my value out of spite. Well, in most states, the review board can only lower your assessment or leave it alone. They want people filing, remember? It's how they fix their own model. Retaliation would kill the one feedback loop the system has. I need a lawyer. No, you don't. This process was built for homeowners. The boards expect a regular person with a folder of comps. For a normal house, hiring a lawyer is like sending a Navy SEAL team to return an overdue library book. The county's probably right. Well, 48% of those Indiana homeowners would disagree. Roughly half the people who bothered to check found money. And in some states, it's even more lopsided. In Indiana, if your assessment jumped by more than 5%, the burden of proof flips. The assessor has to prove his number. You just have to show up and disagree with evidence in your hand. Here's another. It's a hassle for a couple $100. Well, when appeals win, the typical reduction runs 10 to 15% of the assessed value. It's not nickels. Here, run it with me. A 10% reduction on a $350,000 home at 1.5% tax rate, that's $525 a year. Run a bigger win or a hotter tax rate, and you're north of $1,000 pretty darn easily. And not just once, every year until the next reassessment. If you escrow, your monthly payment is going to drop. Over a handful of years, that's thousands of dollars of your own money recovered in one afternoon. Oh, one more thing, because this is the part the headlines are getting wrong, and you've heard it everywhere. Property tax relief is coming. Florida has a big constitutional amendment on the November ballot. Texas is arguing about it. Politicians love this stage of the show. And notice the word they picked, relief, not refund. Relief is what you give a hostage. A refund is what you give a customer. They know exactly which one you are. And here's what they don't tell you. Your tax bill is two levers. The rate, which politicians control, argue about, and campaign on, and the value, which nobody on this earth controls but you. Every dollar of relief they promise runs through their lever, someday, maybe, after a vote. An inflated value on your house gets fixed by exactly one person, you. And if some part of you feels like appealing is petty, understand that the biggest property owners in America do this constantly. Donald Trump's organization has fought the tax assessment on nearly every golf course it owns. And at his Bedminster Club in New Jersey, 8 goats and a hay operation legally turn 119 acres of luxury golf resort into a farm. Reported property tax on that piece, about $700 a year. That's it, $700. There are 1-bedroom condos paying more property tax than 119 acres of country club. The goats have better representation than you do. Now, I'm not telling you to go buy goats. I'm telling you they already treat the assessment as an opening offer, and so should you. The county was just counting on you never finding that out. And even the rate isn't finished business. Those new lower rate rules in Florida still get decided city by city at budget hearings in August and September. And your notice lists the proposed rates and the hearing dates. So the same envelope you were about to throw away is also your invitation to watch them vote on your money. 2 documents in one, still headed for the trash in most houses on your street. They call it a public hearing. The public part is technically true. You're allowed in the room while it happens to you. Here's what makes this one here different from almost everything else I cover on this channel. Most weeks, I'm showing you where the system tilts against you. This is the rare spot where it tilts towards you. Filing is free or close to it in most places. In most states, the value can't go up just because you asked. The downside, it's just an afternoon. The upside compounds for years. When I find ground like that, I'm going to plant a flag on it. Now, if you check your numbers and you'd rather have backup, there are services that handle the appeal for you and only get paid if you win. I've put the one that I recommend in the description below, but hear me clearly. You do not need them. Everything required, I just handed you. Free. It's a good price. So here's where you stand. You got 2 roads to choose from. Road 1, the envelope comes, it looks like junk mail, it goes where junk mail goes. You accept the opening offer. This year, next year, every year you own that house from a spreadsheet that has never even seen your street. Or road 2, you spend 10 minutes. You find the deadline. It's super easy. Go to fightmyassessment.com. You pull the card and you'll see the link to your county's website right next to your deadline there. You check the comps and the exemptions. Maybe your number's fair. It's right. Well, good. Now you know. And knowing is worth 10 minutes. Or maybe you're one of the 1 in 3 and you just gave yourself hundreds, likely thousands of dollars over the coming years. Nobody is coming to check that number for you. You are the inspector. So when that envelope lands, and it is landing in days, not months, don't toss it. Open it, read it, answer it. And listen, when you pull that record card tonight, the county's math isn't the only thing you're going to find there. You're going to find your name on the deed in a public database, one search away from anyone who goes looking for it. That's why I pulled this next video out here for you to watch next. It shows the different places where you and your home are vulnerable to meddling strangers and what you can do about it. You just spent 10 minutes reading the county's file on your house. Spend 60 seconds more finding out who else can. God loves you, and so do I. Take care.